Hey all, J-Town here. Today we're playing Eternal Evolution, and this is going to be a very easy to digest beginner's guide introduction to the game, so it's not so overwhelming. Recently at global launch, it was only available on Android via APK in most regions. So now it is North American servers, it's on iOS, so you're able to fully play the game, spend if you want. But it is not cross-server, so know before you start, decide if you're going to play on an iOS or an Android, like an emulator on PC, because you're going to be stuck there until that possibly one day that they bridge that gap. But I know the game looks a little intimidating at first, like, oh my gosh, how do I jump into this? I thought the same thing. I want to make sure you know what it is and to not be intimidated. What is Eternal Evolution? It is an idle battler, right? Your idle rewards constantly, like AFK Arena, but you'll have different stages and things to grind through every day to make that progress benchmark be further ahead, so those idle rewards are higher. So when you first boot up the game, you're going to get this beautiful looking Warframe vibe thing here. You're going to log in. If you want to join me in my guild, I'm in North America 7. Got a thing for 7s. Now, when you first play the game, you're going to be in this airship right here. It's going to get knocked down by a big creature. It'll show you the very basics of battle and whatnot. And then you'll kind of limp away with your ship. And you're always going to come to this screen. This is your basic screen. Your main 5 heroes that you've leveled up are going to be here fighting just endlessly 24 hours a day. The chest behind them is where your auto rewards will be. It shows you how much you're gaining per minute or hour. Caps out at 36 hours. So make sure you're collecting this every day, once every day and a half. Don't let it cap out and then you're wasting time. The little project bar above you, the progress bar there, that is your progress in the story instance challenges, which behind my picture to the bottom right, you'll see a story instance challenge button. That's where your basic levels, so you progress through. Now, if you've played AFK Arena before, or Rage of Destiny, or any of those, it's the same bones with a different skin. Not that they're just a direct copy, it's just a time-tested system that works down to the evolution system. It is identical, just packaged differently, different face on it. Seeing these different heroes you collect, it's like a gacha. You're going to gain different heroes. Even the color system is still the same. You start from blue, then go up to purple, then go up to yellow and white and red. And you've got your different factions here, right? You've got your Terrans, which are the human and their constructs, right? You've got like a Warhammer Final Fantasy vibe going on. And you've got your Atlas, you got your Warframe stuff, and your Wenfear, which you got like beast mode type Kung Fu Panda sometimes looking things, which they're all extremely cool. I love all these different things. Very, very neat. And if you're ever unsure about the evolution, you just hit that icon up, the exclamation point. It pulls them down. You can see the different levels, right? It tells you exactly the progression system. So in order to get one of your heroes to the maximum level, right, you're going to need to summon many copies of them. So one rule of thumb when you're doing this with your heroes, do not use a copy, like a duplicate of the hero, until it's mandatory, right? In this, use any other one. Don't use a duplicate in this spot because those are more valuable there. It's got a quick evolve button for your low level fodder, just to get it to a place where you can use it. And then a red dot if it's something that has the ability to evolve. It'll show you, do I have, a hero on there I want to evolve into that? Yes and no. And there'll be a link in the Discord where some of the mods have put together a pretty good tier list to help you determine which of these are worth investing in, which are worth fodder. To a point. There's a little bit of nuance into it, but it so far has been a very good resource. Okay, so you understand how the evolution system works, the gacha system, all of those things are here, but they're packaged in this kind of convoluted skin, right? So just going around the clock here, we've got the fast patrol on the right. That's for your idle rewards. You can use that to get 2 hours worth of all your resources, helps you progress. Your battle order is basically the battle pass, different things you do every day. There is a premium and a free version of that. On the left here, you've got your novice pack, which there are certain things when you first start the game, there'll be different packages for you that you can purchase in those first 5-day window. I recommend looking into some of these, especially the ones that offer the Serena shards. She is a top tier healer. You should get her. It will help you very greatly. And your grand ceremony is like an event that comes to the beginning of the game. When you first log in, there's this event going on that lasts for this amount of time. It shows you different ways to get the points, and there's a ranking here. Depending on how you place, you can get these rewards. Obviously, Serena we talked about, and then Bailey Hudson, who is regarded as being the best character in the game. Then also some summons and whatnot. Your achievement pack, when you acquire certain things in the game, when you make certain benchmarks, it comes up with these packs that you can go and get a jump start on. You have to determine for yourself if that's a value or not. These numbers up here are a sales tactic. Many games use this. You just have to determine it. Do you think that's a good value for yourself? The resource acceleration pack, these come up and they say free. When they first pop up, there's a 24-hour timer on there, and you pay like $2 to get that. But it'll say I'm like free if you wait till after the timer's up. I waited just because I could be patient. You see here, right? In 4.5 hours, I'll get this all for free, but I can pay $2 if I want it now. So it's just whether I'm impatient or not. So I chose to wait. Fatty's Treasure, I love that name, Fatty. He'll have different things you can buy for different discounts. Basically just a randomly generating deal thing. It could be random every day. It resets. You can see the timer there. The store icon just takes you back to the store for any of those packs that you might be able to get for free, or the deals that have just come out. They have the red dot on there. Then at the bottom left, they have that little message bubble. That's if you've got any messages. The global chat, friends, where you can receive the points and hand out the points. Your mail, where your different rewards or your past rewards will come from if you bought any of the monthly or weekly passes. Arena reset rewards. Peak of Glory are like people who've done like certain achievements, the first person to hit these certain levels. Based on that, everybody in the server gets a reward. Very nice. And down at the bottom, you have your heroes page where you can just view the different heroes you've collected. They have different ranks and rarities. SSS are those super elite heroes, right? They have a stat and ability quality above all others. They're just harder to get. They're very rare. Your evolutions, where you can go and evolve set heroes. You can reset a hero if you've invested, but you don't want to stay with them. You want to go back. And then you can dismiss heroes. So the greens you get from your pulls, we'll show those very briefly. They're called commons, and you want to just dismiss them. They have really no value whatsoever. You can't use them in evolution or anything like this. Eventually, you have the option to toggle this on or off. You want to toggle it on, and those will just dismiss, and you'll get resources instead of having those. Your bag will have red dots because of different packages you may have bought, things you can use, different tickets you have, some items that will give you certain like number of hours of progress of your idle rewards and different things. Those can be used when you need the rewards. I recommend getting as much progress as you can before using them because their value exponentializes, right? 4 hours of what I am when I first start the game versus 4 hours what I am at the end of that day will be hugely different, right? So the longer you wait on those, the bigger the value is. You just have to determine, do you need those resources now to progress? Your equipment, just like any of those other idle games, you're going to have different pieces of gear that you can then forge and level it up for different stats on it and give it to your characters. Like again, I'm going to go back to AFK Arena a lot because they're one of the most popular AFK games of this style. If you're familiar with that game, you're going to recognize this and be right at home. Shards are those fragments of your heroes that you have gotten that once you get enough will equal a hero. For these, see, I'll need 60 shards. So I'm halfway to another copy of her. And then just smaller amounts I've gotten from some of the other stages. Prototypes is a whole other item that just helps you out. We'll show you where that is a bit later. And then your missions. These are just your daily missions you can do every day. Missions that are overall based on stages in your completions and progress. And then achievements, things that you just naturally will get once you start doing more in the game. Great source of rewards, especially early on. Bottom left, your base. This is where it can look a little bit intimidating. I know at first you're like, oh my god, what even is this? Don't worry. In this game, just imagine this is your city. Most of the games are in a fantasy setting with like a kingdom and a castle. This is your kingdom. This is your castle. Your central hub is just your main point. And you're like, what in the Tesseract is this? These are just where you unlock the different buildings, the nodes. As you progress different things, you'll get these little cubes things. You'll put them in these slots, and then you'll get another little building, which opens a different function in the game. If you ever have a question, click on that question mark there, right? So the command post, you'll get commanders that will be like accessory characters that you just equip in the corner of your battles that can give certain bonuses to certain types of heroes. Your shop, obviously we've been there before. Different shops for different parts of the game. Nice way to get some things. Your divine prototype, you'll collect these. These can be equipped in the bottom left next to your commander in certain battles, and they will give certain bonuses to different types of heroes. You can level those up. Pretty interesting type of little thing. Your inherit, again, I'm going to come back to AFK Arena, Rage of Destiny, and others. You only have to really, truly level 5 heroes. The top 5 heroes that placed in here, the lowest of them will then pass their level down to any other hero you put into this slot. If I were to put in this guy right here, he then jumped up to level 79. Now, I still have to individually equip him and work on his talents, but I don't have to invest the XP into him. Now, you don't have to have your best hero in this slot. These are going to be heroes you get in the most duplicates of, because you're going to be gated at certain points in the evolution of those heroes, to where to get the next level up of this hero, I need a duplicate of that hero, but I'm having a hard time getting that. So I might want to level up instead a hero I'm getting more frequent duplicates of that may not as be high quality of a hero, but it's going to get me past that level gate, that level cap that I would be at. Now, obviously those heroes you've taken past those different points may have access to their better abilities and stats and things of that nature. So you're always going to be wanting to get duplicates of those heroes, even if they're over here, right? Just to improve their quality. But as far as just the level go, you want to be able to break through your level ceiling. And so it's not always going to be just those super rare heroes you're leveling up. Your guild, once you start or join a guild, you'll have access to this with the hall, your shop, which are special to you. Daily challenges you'll find in here, which is like your guild boss. And your guild hunt once you unlock that. Recruitment center, this is the gacha. This is where you go and get your different things. There'll be banners here showing you what their limiteds, right? Usually 1 or 2 banners always going on. Your basic, this is never going to change. This is always going to be here. This is where you'll summon just your basic heroes. At 30, you get a reward of soul potion, right? And their pity system is that you're going to get a rare or elite in every 10 pull. You're not going to get just a bunch of green fodder. But then you'll always get exchange tickets here, so you can come back through and then spend on one of these heroes, right? Like I've got 193. So I'm probably going to get my Oisa here because I need duplicates of her. She's my main tank. Your advanced, these are just a more advanced. We'll go ahead and do a 10 pull of that so you can tell. Little transport pod's going to come down. Now, see, I'm going to get a link here because I saw purple on the little thingy. Oh, we got another Taylor. Okay, that's a good pull. That's a really good pull. All right, so you're familiar with other games that do this style. Genshin Impact is one that had a similar to this, where you can see just all slotted next to each other like that. It's going to be better quality than your basic. You can still get greens, but not as many. Obviously, again, they have a recruitment reward there once you get 30 pulls, and a similar pity system. Once you save up enough, which I'm very close to, you can select one of these heroes that you need. It's a great way to focus on certain heroes that maybe I need to copy this to break through the next point, that next evolution. Great way to get that. You can set your wish list, which is over here behind my picture, of which heroes you're looking for. Those will start coming through more often. And you can sort it down by the different faction if you wanted to, or just all of them. Then your friendship, as you get different friend points from that friends list, when you're clicking on send and receive rewards, just another way to summon. Again, exactly like other ones like AFK Arena, where they've got that same exact system. I'm going to get a blue here, it looks like. This guy looks amazing. Not that great. Little squall action going on over here. Then you got your outpost over here, which is going to be your dispatches every day. You can send different heroes out on the missions. Based on the quality of hero you send, you'll have a percentage bonus to how much these rewards are. Great way to just get a nice little more income flow going on. Always send your best heroes out. It does not keep them from doing other things in the game for you. And you can see by the timers, it's not as long as some other games where it's like they're gone for the whole day, come back and get them tomorrow. Send them out. Give your best heroes to the one you want the best rewards from, like this here, the red. I definitely want a lot of those. And so that's your base. The last one we have to talk about is the perimeter. This looks a little overwhelming at first. Do not worry. All right. Your wasteland. That is like those little mini campaigns where as you progress through, there are different nodes you stop at to get bonus rewards that can help you out. Different fights where you can see the lineup. It keeps any kind of progress. If you lose units or they lose units, you keep trying to make it through. The goal is to get different things on your way through to help you on. Complete all the stages. If you want to see what pieces you've acquired, like you get like a 5% crit rate one or like a 10% defense one here, just that pump up your team while you go through this level here. You can get different rewards. You can follow the cooldown timer on that. You always want to be doing that. Obviously, your arena, it's a pretty typical arena. Once you get through the introductory fights, you'll then be put into like the regular list of people when the fights get a lot harder. There are daily rewards here. So you do your 5 arena matches, you're going to get 150 of these diamonds here. Very nice. Defensive in the middle, where you set your team. Ancient Altar, there's various challenges in this game, which is very, very nice. Usually games only have like one guild boss, which this game also does back in the guild section. These are challenges that you can do, and it's nice. You've got tickets here for them. You can see what kind of rewards are possible. You can see on the bottom right behind my picture, it'll say until settlement 3 days, 17 hours, right? So basically, you're going to try to do as much damage to these things as you can. There's different difficulty. You can see right there. And you can see the rewards based on how much damage you can do to them. You have your challenge tickets here. The strategy button right there in any of these challenges will tell you exactly how they all work. So you can see this one is actually 3 different fights, 3 different bosses. You have 3 different teams set up, and you can look at what skills they have and what kind of team you're going to need, right? Like this one's immune to all CC. This one blows up summons, so you wouldn't want to use summoners against that. You can see the record of who had the highest team, what they did. You can look at the achievements that are related to this, so you can see, okay, what kind of things do I want to be aiming for to get those rewards as I progress in it. And then the milestones, just an easier way of seeing, okay, I want to hit these damage benchmarks to get these rewards. Sinsaru Marsh is another one of those, but multiple stages, a little bit different. This is going to be every day you want to be doing this. It's got its own stamina system up here. And then this multicolored stamina are some stamina that you use for all 3 of these different challenges that I'll be showing you. Again, the Raiders page over here, the open book, will tell you exactly how the fight functions, what to do, right? So it's just each of these different challenges focuses on a different ability, different types of heroes that you have. You can see there are limited clear rewards, which are like first time rewards, and then the clear rewards, each time you farm it, you can have the chance to get these kind of rewards. When you go in, you have the option to set up your team first and then hit challenge, which behind my picture here is the first thing you want to do. And again, the skill info button is in there in case you forgot to look at it. And you can see the power that they have versus your power at the beginning. Here's how you'll change in and out your heroes that you want to use, just like that. The next of those challenges is the Terra Dome. You have Guardian Argo. Again, your Raiders page will tell you what to do. Only people that are inside this blue ring will be able to damage them, so you want to focus on up-close melee characters. Again, first time clear rewards and some clear rewards every time you fight it. Disa Caves, same thing again. This is the purple stamina, right? It's a Raiders thing, and it shows you exactly what you need to do. This has got a shield you need to burst through in a certain amount of time. So you want to focus on multi-hitting heroes. Over here on the top, your Rift Fisher. These are like puzzle instances. So when you go into here, you have different rewards you can get. And there'll be just a different map that you can move around on. Different rewards to get, encounters to fight, maybe little puzzle elements for a limited amount of rewards. These are one-time things you have to clear. Your Soul Mine. This is going to be the heart and soul of this whole thing. This is like your tower, your Doom Tower in like Raid Shadow Legends, towers in AFK Arena. You're going to push down through here. The floors are going to increase in challenge. You can see what that power is versus yours. At each floor, you're getting more and more rewards. You can see on the rank who's on what floors. There's people who are totally going hard at it. It's a nice way to get rewards. You always want to be pushing in here. There's no penalty for trying a floor and failing. You can just keep on trying, coming back. That's the great thing about this game. And then the Rise of Heroes will be coming soon, and you unlock Twilight Lands later. I haven't unlocked it yet. So you can see it's just kind of a little bit of an intellectual, intimidating package that this is all wrapped in, but it's nothing that you should be worried about. That's all the things to do in the game. I know when you first start, you're like, oh man, where do I even begin? But knowing those things helps out a lot. Make sure you progress, level up those heroes, right? Very, very fun game. There's actually quite a few codes for this game, which I'm going to link in the description below. Use those codes, click on your portrait, go into settings, gift code right in the middle, and type all those codes in. Get yourself a lot of good free rewards, right? I recommend getting a couple of those beginner packs too. They're like $5. There's a couple of them, especially the ones that give you copies of Oisa and Serena, a good tank and a good healer. So thanks for staying with me. I hope I've broken that down easy to digest for new people coming into the game who are like, whoa. There you go, y'all. I've been J-Town. I will see you in game.